nerds. My name is Adi, and today are you wondering where Vishali is? Vishali, it's just very boring just sitting there not participating, so we're going to be doing separate book reviews from now on. But don't worry, we're still going to be doing some book reviews together. So today I am going to be reviewing this book called Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Because I was very eager to read this book, and because I just love Greek mythology and Roman mythology and ancient stuff like this book. So that's why I listened to this book on Audible. It's very hard to listen on Audible because you have to sit, listen. It was like 10 hours, I think. It was just too hard for me to listen to. I would have just bought the book, but I listened. So the thing that is, I love this book, and the characters before the quest on this book are Clarice, Annabeth, Percy Jackson, Sally Jackson, Gabe Ogliano, the big three, which is Zeus, the god of the sky, Poseidon, the god of the seas, Hades, the god of the underworld. So it starts out when Percy Jackson and his classmates went to a field trip at the museum. Percy accidentally used his powers against Nancy Bobofit, and he didn't even know he had a power, or he was a demigod, or he knew nothing. So he used his powers accidentally to push Nancy Bobofit into the water fountain. That got Mrs. Dodds angry. So Mrs. Dodds said, "Why don't you come inside the museum, and I need to have a talk with you." When Percy went in, she turned into a fury, which is like with bad wings, but like a human form. So it came, attacked Percy. I thought there was no way he would get out. But thankfully, Mr. Bronner, the Latin teacher, threw him a pen. A pen. But when you clicked the pen, it turned into a sword. He killed Mrs. Dodds, and when he came out, nobody knew who Miss Dodds was. How mysterious. After that, he got expelled because of the incident. So Grover and him were going home. Grover was muttering something to himself that, "I had to protect you and a monster attacked you." He didn't know what he was talking about. He was like, so he went to his mother after he got expelled, and then their mom asked to tell him everything. Percy could not tell her about the monster and the fury and Mrs. Dodds being evil, so he just leaves it out. So their mother says, "Okay, let's go to Santa Monica Beach." So they were going to go to Santa Monica Beach, and he had a dream that two animals were fighting, and there was a voice underneath the ground, and it just broke apart, and there the underworld was. He woke up, and there was Grover knocking on the door. Grover said, "Mrs. Jackson, get into the car. We need to go to the camp." And there was another question. Why is Grover a satyr? I have no idea. He was half goat, half human. So he used crutches just for an act. But Percy couldn't think about that right now. They were rushing to camp. But then there was a minotaur chasing them, which was super scary. And unfortunate moment, lightning struck the car. It flips and Grover faints. No, that is not good. Their mom and Percy have to drag him all the way above the hill and into the camp. But before Percy could kill the monster, their mother died, which was really sad. So he brought Grover all the way onto the hill, and it turns out he had fainted too. When he woke up, he was in the hospital in the big house. So when he was in the big house, everyone was super nice to him, and there was a girl feeding him pudding or something like that. So Grover comes in and says, "Sorry, I couldn't save your mother or yourself. I fainted." So he said it's okay, but he had to find his mother somehow, and he had to find out how and what this place is. So Grover shows him around a little, and then there Mr. Brunner was. But it wasn't actually Mr. Brunner. It was Chiron, the teacher of great heroes like Achilles and Hercules and other great heroes. Percy was surprised, very surprised. So Percy didn't really care and had to go with him. The only part that he was really amazed of is that he was a centaur. Very, very cool. So he went and looked around the place a little. There was the girl reading a Greek book called Annabeth, the daughter of Athena. So she showed him the cabin room he's going to be in, which is full of Hermes kids, and another cabin room full of Ares kids that had Clarice and other mean-looking girls. So Annabeth was super surprised and took him on her team on Capture the Flag. He was surprised as well, and just when they were in, Clarice had her electric spear, and she kinda tried to kill Percy. Percy is not what you think. He is one of the biggest of the incident. Thank goodness Chiron finally saved Percy from another monster. So he had more dreams about that the sea and the sky were fighting, and there was something in a pit, and it was calling another person. "Help me, I need my powers back." He had no idea who that was, and who was helping him inside the pit. Then he woke up. The sea and sky were actually fighting. The sky was booming with thunder, when the sea was rumbling with all the waves. And then Chiron called him to the big house. Chiron said, "There's a quest that we want you and Annabeth and Grover to go on to get all the things." "What things?" Percy asked. "The lightning bolt and the lightning bolt? They think you have the lightning bolt. I have no idea where it is, and why would I even use it anyway," said Percy. "Of course, we all know that. So that's why we're sending you to the underworld to get the lightning bolt." Percy didn't care about this lightning bolt. He needed his mother back. That's why he said yes. He didn't even care about the lightning bolt at all. So they went on the bus to go to their next destination. And the bus had 3 Furies. There are so many monsters. So once Annabeth saw them, now she tells us that monsters can regenerate. Now. Wow. So then, Annabeth says, "Take my invisible cap and go, Percy. They only want you. Just go." Percy could not betray his friends. This is like the first set of friends he ever got. He can't leave them. So he helped Annabeth and Grover by killing the Furies himself. Not a good idea. They had whiplashing and their tails were on fire. They ran away a few minutes after because the bus exploded. Yeah, thank goodness there was no passengers on there. So they ran into the woods. The next day they were so hungry, they had no food and no money either because their money all got exploded in the bus. So they find a shop called Auntie Anne's Garden Gnome Emporium. They go inside. It's full of statues everywhere. Statue number 1, statue number 2, so many statues. So Auntie Anne was in there and she said, "Children, do you need food?" And all of them agreed. And when they ate the food, Percy felt sleepy. So Annabeth said, "Come on, Percy, let's go." And there Auntie Em was. Auntie Em said, "Why don't you take a picture before you go?" Percy said, "Why not?" And Annabeth said, "No, remember the summer solstice deadline." What is the summer solstice deadline, you ask? You have to give the lightning bolt before the summer solstice. That is the summer solstice deadline. So it's just a photo. That's when Grover noticed that his uncle Ferdinand was there and he was killed by Medusa. He said, "Quick, guys, don't look." Everyone fell down. Everyone ran. That's when Percy used a mirror, like a globe mirror, and used that to look at Medusa with her hissing snakes as hair, and killed her and sent her head to Olympus to show his dad what he has done to go on this quest. So after that, they saw an arch. So they all went in. Percy asked, just to make sure, "Do you smell any monsters?" Grover said no. So when they saw a lady with a poodle, the poodle turned into a fire-breathing lion serpent thing. And there was the only choice that he could do. He could jump off and fall into the Mississippi River. And that's what he had done. Fall all the way into the Mississippi River. Very, very sad. So then, it's not sad as you think, because he did not get killed. He was breathing underwater. And there was an ocean spirit that said, "Go to Santa Monica. Your father will be waiting for you." And it just, boom, disappeared. Then, so when they were going to Santa Monica Beach in California, they found Aries when they were about to go to a real restaurant and get real food. And they found Aries and Aries said that, "I had a friend and I left my shield at the water park tunnel. If you get it for me, I'll give you money and food." They did not have money, they just got food. They needed money to go to the next destination. So Percy was about to say no, he did not like God Aries. But Annabeth immediately agreed, but she didn't know what it was up to. When she went, Annabeth And Percy went inside the tunnel, grabbed a shield, but then there was a lot of spiders. Who likes spiders? I hate them. They are so I do not like creepy crawlers. So Annabeth doesn't either. So they get out of the spider invasion, I guess you could say. And after that, after they left, it was really hard for them. After then, they gave it to Ares, and Ares had given them a backpack full of food and money to get them across to Santa Monica. But when they got to Santa Monica, the ocean spirit said three things. It gave them the 3 pearls to get out of the underworld. And the second thing that the ocean spirit said was, thing from the ocean must come back to the ocean. And the last thing it said was, your father's waiting for you on this quest. You have to do it. And then it just, boom, disappeared again. I do not like that because he had so much questions to ask the ocean spirit. He swam back up, gave the pearls to each of them, and then they went to Lotus Casino, where people have stayed for centuries, even decades, because it had a hypnotizing, mesmerizing thing that makes you want to stay there forever. They took 5 days in the Lotus Casino, even though it seemed like a few hours to them. Wow, super amazing. After that, they had no idea what to do. They were panicking. They stayed in there for 5 days, and there was only 1 day till summer solstice. And then there was going to be a war. Nobody wanted that, because then Earth would be a battlefield, not a peaceful place. So they rushed. Then they went into the underworld. So they gave it to the ferryman, Karen, and he took him onto an oil river, and there was a boat on the oil river. Very gross. When they got down, another challenge to face. That's what quests are about. When they went into Hades' palace, Hades said that, give me my helm of darkness back. Percy didn't even know what he was talking about. He never, ever had the helm of darkness. Percy said, I came to ask you for the lightning bolt that you stole. And Hades said, I stole nothing. You are the one who stole the helm of darkness. I know nothing about your helm of darkness, Percy said. Well, Hades said, check your backpack, Percy Jackson. When he did, there Zeus's master lightning bolt was. He didn't know anything about it, but there was one thing that he just realized. That backpack had been given to him by Ares, the god of war. Hades had said, give me the lightning bolt and I'll give you your mother back. He could not agree to that. He used the pearls, went back to the Santa Monica beach, and said, and there Ares was, right there with the helm of darkness. Percy said, let's both fight. If I win, you give me the helm of darkness and the master lightning bolt. But if Ares wins, Percy has to leave and give him the lightning bolt. So they both fought. Before I explain to you the next part, gods are immortal and they cannot be wounded or dead. But Percy accidentally, I guess I could say, wounded a god. Once he turned into his immortal god self, the wound suddenly disappeared. Instead of having red blood, it had glittery gold blood. So he left, God Ares just disappeared in a snap, and everyone saved Percy And then he went to Olympus and told Zeus everything and the dreams. Zeus and Poseidon canceled the. And then when Zeus said, "When I come back with my master lightning bolt, you shall not be here." And he just disappeared. I don't know why everybody disappears. And then Poseidon said, "Your mother will be back, and there's a package waiting for you in your room." When he came back, he saw his mother, happy. He was super happy to see her back again, alive this time, not in golden dust form. He left for summer camp, and you could stay all year at summer camp, or just stay for the summer and go to school. So Percy didn't know what to do, so he went to the woods with Luke. And Luke explained that I am the lightning thief and the helm of darkness thief. Why would Luke do that? Percy said. Luke said, "The people here do not give me any good quests, so I thought of Cronus, the king of the Titans. As the gods are mortal, the Titans are too, so they are still alive. Cronus said, if you help me and I will get my power back, you can be my assistant, and he'll award me with many quests and many rewards." And he said, "This scorpion, if it bites you, you'll die in 60 seconds. Very life or death situation there." And then, before Percy could say wait, he just disappeared. Luke just disappeared with the wave of his sword. And there Percy was. The scorpion bit him. He slowly but carefully walked toward the camp, and he had fainted. And when he woke up, he was on the hospital at the big house. I would recommend this book to 6th graders and above because this has so much action, yes, I could say. And when I thought about this book, first, I thought it was not going to be good, but actually I loved it. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Bye!